We'll go through the procurement process, pre-qualification questionnaires, when to bid and not to bid, working in collaboration, and what bids usually request, how to make your bid more attractive, and putting yourself in the commissioner's shoes. In most of the cases that I've been involved, it's either to raise funds for a project or for a service you want to offer, but raising funds to actually sustain something or to put a building up together. The next element is to deliver supplies and services, and that could be a product, that could be a delivery of training. Often my experience is around delivery of training. It could be to say support your computer infrastructure, to do a website, all sorts of different projects. The last section I've got there is around bidding to be nominated for award, and in the industry you can go for business awards to be sort of nominated for best entrepreneur, best new business, all those types of things, and I've been involved in projects like that as well. The most popular is for a grant, and the grants are they're non-repayable amounts of funding. They sometimes require you to add some match funding, so you may add to match like 40% or 50% of the money that you're asking for, but as you say, you don't have to repay those back. They're to cover specific things, so they don't often fund things like salaries and running costs, but they will fund for a piece of equipment or a facility and those sorts of things. Some newer ones are crowdfunding, and crowdfunding has been used in lots of ways now. Crowdfunding is where you actually use social media to generate interest in a project. Mentioned earlier, large companies like Tesco's, all the supermarket chains, Ford, lots of big organisations like that have funds for different purposes, and you can use those to support mainly activities in the local community. Not very often large amounts of money, but very useful, particularly for, as I say, for community and charity sector activities. So things you need to have in place before you go for a bid are a clear vision, clear mission for the organisation. You do need to be registered either as a charity or a business. Most often you will need to have a business plan of what it is you're doing as a business. Some good financial records. Most organisations won't give you funding if your finances are not in a very good order. The resources to provide what you're bidding for, and a method of measuring the outcomes and impact of what you bid. You need to clearly identify your need. I've given an example there of the problem could be like some groups not engaging in community life. The cause is identified as groups don't like village hall and feel alienated, so they're not engaging in the community. Developed into a bid for a new community centre, but you need to have the evidence from the consultations and other supporting evidence to know that that was what was wanted. So the aim is the overall point of your project, and the outcomes are the change that your aim is about to bring about, and the activities are the main service and activities you plan to carry out. And on the next slide I've got a completed one. So our aim there is our young people positively engaged in the community. Funding sites, particularly the big lottery and others, give you lots of guidance about writing bids and proposals, and there are other websites. If you've been involved in writing bids previously, you can use that information. Don't just cut and paste. Make sure that the information you put in the current bid is relevant.